My story began at the Tucson JCC when my parents enrolled me and I went to preschool here at the J. I did, my sister did. That's when we really got involved here at the J. A lot of feelings I have about being at the J, especially in preschool and in the younger time of my life, was just feeling just happy. Like, I remember so much play and so much joy and making relationships, and I'm still friends with these people today. I've continued to make the J a part of my life for many different reasons. One of them is they have a little bit of everything, whether that's I work out with my friends every week. It's a good time to reconnect with them. I bring my kids here for early childhood. I bring them here for summer camp. Even on days off when school has off, I bring my girls here for school days out. The pool is really fun. Splash pad is fun. We're looking at doing a birthday party for one of my kids here because they have jumping castles. I feel like they're just able to touch a little bit of everything of what I needed. So the tradition I remember the most of from when I was a kid, being part of ECE, was the Purim parade. And I have pictures of myself dressed up as Queen Esther. But my girls now, they do a dress up for Love of Reading, and they dress up for a Purim parade. One of my most specific memories of the J of growing up was probably Maccabi games, because I was 12 when they came. And I think you have to be 13 to 16, but if it was in your host town, you could be 12. And I remember it was so cool. I remember the emblem on the floor of the gym. I played basketball that year, not for my athleticism, but because I was tall. And I just remember being hosting kids. We hosted kids from Israel that we actually still talk to. We were still connected with them via Facebook. But for sure, Maccabi games is one of my most distinct memories here. I chose to come back to the JCC and send my girls here for a few reasons. One of it being comfortability. I was super comfortable here. I was familiar with it, and I felt like they were first and foremost safe. Once I enrolled them here, I loved the Jewish aspects, like singing the motzi over and over. And I remember my oldest, when she was maybe 3, I came home and I was making dinner, and she made a table and got out everything to make a Shabbat plate. Like, she had her cups and she had her silverware set, and she got out our candles, and she was ready for Shabbat. And I think it was like Tuesday. So like, I just loved that aspect of it. Once I was enrolled here, the teachers made it somewhere where I'm not a crier. I didn't cry at my wedding. I'm sorry, honey. I didn't cry at my wedding. And when my oldest graduated preschool, I was in tears for weeks because I was so sad. I think a lot of different aspects, but I was so sad to leave the teachers. I loved her preschool teacher. I've loved all the teachers throughout, where I feel like they're more family than even sometimes our own family, like people in our family. They're part of our every single day. So the teachers are just unreal. So another part of it that makes it really unique is people are shocked when I tell them the JCC has Spanish immersion. And I'm like, yeah, they do have Spanish immersion, and it's amazing. They're like, they have a cute little Spanish accent when they're saying, like, we have to say the motzi, because they're learning how to speak in English too, and Spanish. And I think that's such a unique part of here, but it's also tailoring it to knowing, like, having the J realize that we live in Southern Arizona, like having Spanish is important. Let's have Spanish immersion and a Jewish identity, and learning how to be a kind individual, like putting everything all together.
Buenos días, buenos días, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás?
Muy bien, gracias.
Gracias. Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted? ¿Y usted?
What's your favorite thing about school?
Playing.
And what do you play with?
My friends.
Your friends. So the J impacts the whole Tucson community by being somewhere that anyone can go. You don't have to be Jewish to go. Some of my closest friends that I've met from my kids being at school here are actually not Jewish at all. And I think, and they've never felt uncomfortable. They've loved it. They love coming over, and I teach them how to make challah, because once they leave here, they don't have a connection to Judaism anymore. And so they want to still have some sort of a connection because they're so used to their kids. They ask, well, why can't we have challah every Friday? And then instead of the parents saying we're not Jewish, they say, okay, we can. Let's go over to Jamie's house. Kins, what's your favorite part about Shabbat here at GCC?
Hara. Hamoti lehem haaretz. We didn't see that for bread of voices wasn't together as a joyful prayer said.
Another part that I think makes the JCC unique and something really special to our family is that the connections that my parents made when I was in preschool here have gone all the way to where my kids have then been in the weddings of the other kids that I met when I was in preschool here, which I think is unique. I was in their weddings, and then my girls were even flower girls in their weddings.
I belong. You belong. Everyone belongs.